Hannah Olivas, and she's gonna talk about her new book. And then we're gonna talk about politics in the midterm. So looking forward to everybody tapping in. And Prince for Yonkers, man, Prince for Yonkers, we gotta talk. I'm looking forward to learning more about you, buddy.
Those of the station, its management, or sponsors. As always, we're privileged to amplify the voice of the people here on Vox Populi 60 and worldwide at WVOX.com for you and yours. The most influential station in New York State, AM 1460, WVOX. 1460. Stay tuned now for What Happened Here with Rich Thomas. Rich Thomas is the former mayor of Mount Vernon. And now, What Happened Here with Rich Thomas on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Rich Thomas, former mayor of Mount Vernon. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial worldwide at WVOX.com. The name of our show is What Happened Here? And today's question we're asking about we're asking what happened here with unleashing her, unleash her power, unleash your power. We're going to have a very special guest, Hannah Olivas. She is the CEO and co-founder of She Rises Studios, and she's going to discuss her new book out now on Amazon, Unleash Her. We're going to talk about the Me Too movement, Never Again. We're also going to, get into some of the elements of her book so you can unleash and discover your inner power. So we're looking forward to having her on. And if you have questions and want to call in and ask her some about her book or about her journey, you can call in at 914-636-0110. Again, that's 914-636-0110. And later in the show, there will be a discussion with me about the midterm elections, what's happening, where some people's hearts and minds are going to open the calls up. We know that there's been a tremendous amount of interest in this upcoming election, and looking forward to hearing from you and the callers that want to discuss that aspect too. But while we have Miss Olivas, just want to welcome her to the line to discuss her new book, Unleash Her. Um, this is a book that she has released on Amazon. You can find it right now. It's a tremendous book that discusses a lot of her anthology of interviewing over 30 women that have been through a tremendous amount. Hannah, are you on the line?
Good morning. I am here.
You're an author of many books. I see you have Me Too, but Never Again as well. So you have a couple of books that you're going to discuss today.
I do.
So talk,
Excited to be here.
talk to us first. If you can just tell us what drove you to write some of these books, and if you could just share with everybody a little bit about your story of how you came to say I want to share this light and spread this light with the world.
Yeah, so we have two books that one just came out last week
Mm-hmm.
called Unleash Her, and we have one coming out called Me Too, but Never Again. The little backstory behind it is I was diagnosed with a very rare blood cancer. Really made me think of life differently, my perspective. I really realized I needed to heal
Mm.
from past trauma in order to be healthy to fight the new battle that I'm facing now. And I had the opportunity to participate as a co author in another book. And I loved the collaboration idea. And so I wanted to be able to speak more freely and give women a voice to speak more freely about their journey, whatever that may be, life and business both. And so we created a series of books. We actually are launching our eighth book under She Rises Studios next week. So it's pretty exciting to work with women and really understand our powers, our gifts, our talents. So Unleash Her is about discovering what our feminine power is. How do we use it? We have to drop the shame, the guilt, the competition. We need to understand how important it is for us to heal inside and be able to give positive impact in our communities, in our own lives, in our children, if we're mothers, in business, and be more productive in society altogether. So
So can you,
interview 30 women.
hmm from around the world, that is, can you tell us a little bit about these women that you interviewed?
Um, mind you, this whole entire book was done through virtual world, Zoom, phone calls, text. Very few of us have met each other in person. So the selection process was really fun, interesting, getting to know these women, understanding how each personality works, what each story is, and tying it all into one book of Unleashing Her. So we have coaches, we have experts in finance, we have experts in health and wellness, we have veterans, we have, like, it's truly a combination of life and business and how to unleash your power in each of those lanes while also working in a collaborative form and paying this book to me is a gift for women. And we're wanting to show, hey, no more hiding behind the scenes. Make room at the table, for all of us to sit together, men and women, and standing in your purpose, really unleashing what that is. And if you have to forgive, now is the time. Basically, life is too short. So we need to if we're creative, create. If we're builders, build. It encompasses so much. It's actually a very incredible book.
So if you can tell us about, you mentioned that there are five powers to unleash. There's creative, there's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Where do you begin? I mean, they all seem like they need to happen at once.
Like what I always say, you know, and this is an old thing that we all have heard before. A lot of people are solely focused on wealth. But what good is your wealth if you don't have your health to enjoy it? So each one of these requires balance. They need to be balanced together. So for me, my personal unleashing her story um, had to do, my first step was I had to really get honest with myself and understand where I was in life. I had a very traumatic experience happen at a later, I'm 48, um, and I had a major loss in my early 40s that just jolted me and sent me into a major depression. And I thought I was going to end my life.
Oh no.
And I had to really dig deep and look around me and understand that I am loved, I'm worthy, and what happened was not my fault and was not in my control. And it took time for me to understand how worthy I am and how I needed to drop the shame that I was carrying and the burden of loss. I blamed myself immensely, and I let myself go. I didn't want to brush my hair. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to brush my teeth. But I had four other children who were looking to me and watching their mom slip away, and my husband. And that's when I said, my husband said something very, very important that angered me, but it fueled me. And he said, either live or die, but choose one. And so I chose to live. And it was like I had to rebuild every thought process, every feeling I had to feel everything too. You cannot go through life and just stress, and never let the stress go. It's like picture yourself in a car you're driving, you're picking up luggage, and you never unpack what you picked up. What happens?
Get way down.
Yeah, your body breaks down, your mind breaks down, your spirituality breaks down. For those who believe in God, like myself, I believe in God. I prayed. Why did I deserve this? Why me? I went through the why me. I went through the anger, the feeling sorry for myself. I had to feel each one.
And as you and everybody that's listening, we need you to hang on because we're going to get to the next corner of this very sharp edge of how she got to rebuilding herself and unleash her, where she details these secrets. Don't change that dial. Listen to what happened here. Thank you for joining. So today we have on Hannah Alivas, and she's discussing her new book, Unleash Her. Check it out on Amazon, Unleash Her. And she was just talking about how in her early 40s, she had a traumatic experience. She had a major life setback. She was depressed. Everything was breaking down. And then she rebuilt herself. And this new book is one of a series of books that she has written. This one, Unleash Her, she recently released a book called Me Too, But Never Again, how she discusses and details her tribulations with being, attacked and assaulted by another person. So I'm going to talk to her about that when we come back from break. But first, we're going to get into Unleash Her, which just came out the other day, available on Amazon. So just stay tuned while we come back from this commercial break.
Association's average for a 30-year fixed mortgage declined slightly this week to 7.06%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-393-1881. That's 800-393-1881.
This is WVOX at 1460 for Green Haven, Fox Meadow, and Larchmont Manor.
And now back to What Happened Here with Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon, on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial worldwide at WVOX.com. My name is Rich Thomas, former mayor of Mount Vernon. And today's show, we're asking the question about what happened here with women empowerment. What happened here with unleashing her? Unleash Her is the name of the book, but what happened? How do you do it? We have on the line a very special guest, Hannah Alivas. She's the CEO and co-founder of She Rises Studios, and she was discussing with us before we went to break how she rebuilt after a major life setback and basically said, I choose to live. And I'm looking forward to hearing this next, big turn of events that's detailed in her new book, Unleash Her, out on Amazon. If you'd like to join the discussion or if you have some questions, please call 914-636-0110. Again, that's 914-636-0110. Hannah, you left us. You left everybody on a cliff right there, but we had to pull it back. So now we're ready to jump off. We got our parachute or our kite ready, whatever you want to call that thing, and we were ready to glide with you. So tell us what happened. What did you do after you said I choose to live and rebuilt your entire thinking process?
Well, first, I had to really get honest with myself. I had to face some of the most painful, traumatic moments that I had experienced, not only with that loss, but just over life.
Mm.
And I had to go through each feeling, each emotion. Instead of trying to stuff it, cover it, move on, I had to really process them. I had to learn how to reprogram my entire mindset, which is an ongoing thing. It's always becoming. It's never going to end, and that's for every human being out there. I had to stop trying to be this perfect or what I thought I needed to be was this perfect person. I didn't want to seek that. I don't want to, seek validation from anyone. I don't want to feel that other people's opinions matter. I had to learn how to drop just this total feeling of guilt and shame and embarrassment. And I had to learn who I am as Hannah. Who is Hannah? Stop identifying myself as just a mom or just a wife, that I'm an actual human being with a beating heart and that I can do more than what I was doing. I was literally existing but not living.
Mm.
There's a difference. It's like, are you living to die or are you dying to live? And I am now dying to live. I just want to live. I want to live my life without limits. I don't want to um, focus on negativity. Yes, negativity exists every single day around us, but it's what you choose for yourself. And I had to choose to only allow positive things. I literally had to reprogram 40 plus years into 1 year of full self discovery. I went through so many challenges, and just as I thought, wow, I made it, here I am, I've unleashed this stuff, all this gook, I got it out, and then boom, I got smacked again with the diagnosis of cancer. And I'm like, wow, what is going on here? And luckily, I'm very fortunate to have amazing, supportive children and husband and friends and family. And I felt that slippery slope happening, and I was like, no, I will not let this define me. It's what I have, it's not who I am, and I have to continue. And I am human, and I have weak moments. Trust me, they're there. I'm still going through treatment, I'm still fighting this disease, but I'm still living. I'm still traveling, I'm writing, I'm doing what I love. If you would have asked me this question 6 years ago, if I was going to become a writer and a CEO, that wasn't even in my mindset because I didn't think I was worthy.
So you basically were able to capture, this collapse and said, I'm going to help people rebuild and help them learn how to connect with themselves, learn to discover their inner power and build even healthier relationships. Can you talk about that process? I mean, that ability to observe and discern, that these pieces, these broken pieces you can build with. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it and what and how do you come about it in your book?
Discernment is such one of the most appropriate words to use. We all have intuition.
Mm.
Every single one of us. A lot of people call it women's intuition. When your
Mhm.
gut something is wrong. Either the situation is wrong, the person is in alignment, but you have intuition. And I'm saying it's a real thing, so pay attention because your body speaks to you, your mind speaks to you. Everything, you have everything you need within you to understand how to come away from a toxic relationship, how to build a healthy relationship. We are human beings and we require connection.
Mm-hmm.
We require and absolutely need love. No matter what a person tells you, I don't need anybody, that is like the biggest lie you're telling yourself because you do. You need human connection. You need love. You need understanding. All of those things are so important. And if you don't have that, part of unleashing is making those connections, building those relationships, pouring into the people who have poured into you, and disconnecting yourself from the ones who suck the life out of you. There's no really other way to say it than that way. And you are so intuitive, you know who those people are. The ones who love and pour into you, you love and pour into them. The ones who are toxic, I say step back, pray for them, be a leader by example and showing them, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's the part of the power of unleashing. We all have that power, not just women, but we all do. We can all choose right here, right now, to be a leader by example
Mm-hmm.
to a positive way. And that's one of the things I tell women every single day. It is not the me show. It is about all of us together, holding hands, showing the world, look, we're different, we're women from different cultures around the world who have never met, and look at the message that we're sharing out there. If we can do it, and it's just a group of 30 of us, imagine if all people everywhere had that same mentality. There would be less violence. There would be so much, the world would look different.
Well, I need you to hang in there. Everybody, hold on. We have a few more questions for Miss Olivas, especially about her other book, Me Too, Never Again. Don't change that dial. Listen to what happened here. Hey, everybody, just want to say, hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Hope you like this interview. I don't know what happened with the first for Instagram Live. Everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube, what's up? Thank you for joining. I don't know what happened to Instagram Live. We lost the feed earlier, but glad to see all of you back. You have any questions, drop them in the comment section. We're going to talk with her a little bit more, and she's dropping some real pearls right now. So hopefully you're picking up what she's putting down and getting some inspiration from her story of saying no and dying to live as opposed to just living to die. Great, powerful story. So stay tuned.
That is the National Security Council's John Kirby, who says the U.S. believes North Korea is trying to make it look like the shells are being sent to countries in the Middle East or North Africa. After several shootings this week in various parts of the country, the Biden administration again calling for more gun control.
In a statement, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says enough is enough, calling gun violence an epidemic that will not end with thoughts and prayers. She is renewing calls made by President Biden to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
That is Fox's Jared Halpern. Right now on Wall Street, the Dow down just over 108 points. America is listening to Fox News.
This is John Sarcone, candidate for New York State Supreme Court. I'm a Republican running to bring balance and common sense to the court. With over 25 years experience as a litigator and having been published 34 times in state and federal case books, I've received the highest qualification ratings by the Westchester and Dutchess County Bar Association. I've also been endorsed by numerous police and trade unions. I'd be honored if you voted for me, John Sarcone, for state.
So, as you know, during the last segment of the show, I'm going to talk about the midterm elections and look forward to, getting your feedback and thoughts on which way you think things are going to go next Tuesday. It's going to be a tremendous moment in New York's time. As you can see, the races got tight. Everything got tight, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to focus on trying to get the vote out, especially they want to get the black vote out. So I have some thoughts about that, and I look forward to waking you up to talk about what we have to do to make sure that we get out and vote next week, Tuesday, on the issues that matter. So here we go. Coming back from break.
OX. And now back to What Happened Here with Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon, on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Rich Thomas, former mayor of Mount Vernon, New York. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial or WVOX.com worldwide. Today's topic on what happened here is what happened here with women empowerment. We have on the line a special guest, Hannah Olivas. Thank you for staying a little over time, Hannah. But we're diving deep into your books. We're diving deep into your process. And if you have more time, I'd love for you to stick around and talk some more about your book, Unleash Her, which is just dropped the other day, and another one that you wrote, Me Too, But Never Again. You have a lot of wisdom and having gone through so many different battles in a short period of time. Hannah is sharing her truth, her power. with all of us, and also the process of what it took to rebuild after being broken and rebuilding stronger and having far more purpose than she ever imagined at a moment when she felt that she was without any power whatsoever or purpose. But now, in her new books, Unleash Her, out on Amazon, and Me Too, But Never Again. Tremendous stories. One, Unleash Her, and then this is the question I'm building up to, Hannah. Yeah. Unleash Her is like an anthology of interviews of 30 women from across the world that she was able to connect with. I know they're all your favorite interview, but if there was one that stands out, if you can tell us about it, and then in your other book, you have to talk to us about how you triumphed over tragedy and to confront some of the hard lessons or hard encounters and situations you dealt with in the other book. So first, which interview stands out most in Unleash Her?
Wow, that's a tough question because
I tend to do that
they're all
sometimes.
they're also monumental and pivotal. Um, mm, that's a tough one.
All right, chapter one. I'm just kidding.
I would have to say there's two that really stand out to me in terms of interviews. One of them would be with Angela Godoy, and I don't want to give away too much because I really want women to read this, but definitely her. Her story is an incredible story, and it's continuing. It has it's still unraveling, and if you read about this woman, you will truly understand what it means to unleash her. Another one of my favorites would have to be Kelly Montgomery, and she is so young, and has gone through so much and is still learning that process. And it gives you a perspective, two different perspectives. Um, it's very raw and vulnerable, and that's what this world needs is more of that. We don't need the puff puff stuff. We need the truth.
Real and raw.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Our story is another one who just really, when you read it, I feel like it's just a book. Once you start reading one, you're just gonna go into the other to the other. Um, so if that was a tough question.
Well, we got another one now for your Me Too Never Again. Can you summarize everybody a little bit about that book? Because I know we spent a lot of time on Unleash Her, and how you can heal, step up and step out of your comfort zone, and identify and unleash your inner powers. But Me Too, But Never Again is also a tremendous account of some of the situations you faced and overcame. And I think so many people deal with that on a day-to-day basis. And if you can talk a little bit about, the battles that are not seen that you have to go through to win this war of living.
So, Me Too, But Never Again is a book about it's 10 women um, who we all came together and we shared the most intimate, horrible journey that we could have experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based around either molestation, rape, human trafficking, sexual assault, and violent crime. And when you're writing about something so tragic and so, a lot of women have faced these things and never spoken a word. The Me Too movement came out, which I am 100% a supporter of, and will always be because it paved the way for women to come forward and utilize their voices. But then it became this thing where women started being quiet again, and these types of issues continue on a daily basis in our own homes, own family members doing things that they should not do. And I am that Me Too, but never again girl. And the but never again means that eyes wide open, and I am an advocate to push women to speak about what happened, learn what triggers them, because once your innocence has been taken or you've been violated, you become this guarded girl. You trust no one.
Yep.
You believe no one. No one can touch you. And imagine carrying that load with you in life into marriage, into becoming a mother, and looking at the world tainted because someone stole your innocence. So the never again is where we say, this happened. And now we're going to make sure it never happens again to the best of our capabilities. And we're going to teach others the signs and signals what to look for in a potential predator. And if something does happen, don't be quiet. Speak out. Speak out and say, this person is doing this, and stop it. You know, I went to Montana last week, and going through the airport, you see human trafficking signs. If you're in danger, report it.
Can you
We're asking you
can
to
you
do that.
can you share a couple of the signs for those that are listening and don't are not familiar with them?
Yeah. So one is, the way someone touches you. You know a friendly. Let's just give an example: a friendly hug versus a groping hug. Or someone who is trying to lure you away from your friends. If you're out in a crowd and someone's trying to lure you away, into being alone with that person. If you're being followed, ladies need to pay attention to their surroundings. Stay off your phone when you're walking to your cars, and pay attention to your surroundings. Period. Your head should be up and you should be looking around when you're walking to and from places. For your child, make it a safe zone that if someone is inappropriately doing things, you have to have this honest talk with your children. It is not okay to touch body parts. Brothers and sisters don't do it. Dads don't do it. That you have to really be honest and explain to our children too. And those are uncomfortable conversations. So they have to feel safe to be able to come to mom or dad and say, Mom, Dad, someone did this. I don't think it's right. And then instead of mom or dad sweeping it under the rug, and there's a story in the book about that, no, you address it head on and you stop it. It doesn't matter what happens to the other person. They're the perpetrator. They're the violator.
Then you get held accountable.
Exactly. And the more that happens, the less the Me Too will happen.
And how do you recover, from being a victim of rape or molestation, human trafficking, violence?
My first thing is this: we're not survivors, we're warriors. War. It's a war that we went through physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. One of the times in life where you felt the most alone, the most scared. It's where you feel shame, you feel unworthy, you don't know what to do or where to go.
Right.
So I want every woman out there to know that they're a warrior. And that the first thing they have to do is forgive themselves, because we all go through this. What did I do? Why did, you blame yourself. It's just automatic. We have to forgive ourselves. The other is, as hard as it is, and as tragic as it is, you have to forgive the person who did this. If you don't, you will walk around with hate. You will limit your life purpose. You will be sick inside, physically, mentally. You will experience depression, anxiety, panic attacks. You will not be the warrior woman that you are meant to be. And the answer is this: no one ever knows why it happened to us. But we do know that by being a warrior and facing it and learning to heal will lead us into the abundant and powerful life we're meant to have. And maybe it happens because we're supposed to be that voice for somebody else. It's actually one of the most painful books I've ever had to write. It rips off a lot of band-aids because you relive, the triggers come back, certain smells, a song. It could be so many different things.
Well, you have the eye of the tiger, so we're going to hold you right there. I hope you can stay over for one more to just finish the conversation. There's a lot of activity online and wants to know more from Hannah Olivas, the author of some tremendous books. Don't change that dial. Listen to what happened here.
With world and national news, here is the latest update from Fox News Radio on 1460 WVOX.
Fox News, I'm Kevin Uretsky. The White House is accusing North Korea of covertly shipping artillery shells to Russia in support of that country's invasion of Ukraine.
We're not talking dozens here. It's a significant number of artillery shells.
That is the National Security Council's John Kirby, who said today the U.S. believes North Korea is trying to make it look like the shells are being sent to countries in the Middle East or North Africa. After several shootings this week in various parts of the country, the Biden administration again calling for more gun control.
In a statement, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says enough is enough, calling gun violence an epidemic that will not end with thoughts and prayers. She is renewing calls made by President Biden to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
That is Fox's Jared Halpern. Right now on Wall Street, the Dow down just over 108 points. America is listening to Fox News.
Get all of your favorite Fox News podcasts ad-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Trey Gowdy, the Fox News Rundown, Will Kane, Brian Kilmeade, and so much more. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com for all the details. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast to perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news, twice a day. Featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to
Just want to put it out there. Next week is election day. I totally expect there to be huge election turnout. I will have on a special guest next week. I expect to have, if not next week, the week after. Mount Vernon Police Benevolent Association President Nick Mastrogiorgio. I'll reach out to him to see if he'll come on the show to talk about the state of crime and safety in the city of Mount Vernon, but also what's going on with the Mount Vernon Police Department, and looking forward to having him on to talk about the department and talk about the situation in Mount Vernon. Looking forward to having that conversation hopefully next week. It's an important conversation to have given the safety issues that's going on throughout Mount Vernon and throughout the region. So we need to hear from our officers and make sure we understand the issues that they're facing. Definitely going to be an intense conversation because there's a lot to go over. So hopefully I get to have him on next week. But if I can't get him on next week, I'm sure he will be on one of the shows very soon to discuss what's going on with the Mount Vernon safety situation in Mount Vernon Police. So hopefully you're liking this show. It's a great, powerful discussion with Hannah Olivas talking about her journey to writing a couple of books and her ability to kind of convert tragedy into triumph. So just want to make sure that you all have a look ahead as to what we're going to do. I know I'm going to be talking about the midterm elections a lot next week. It's going to be the day after Election Day. So we'll be able to unpack what happened there. But going into next week, I know it's going to be a real tough situation. I've been feeling like it's going to be a tight race, very close call. Ever since I saw the results of New Jersey's governor's race last year, where the New Jersey governor and his Republican opponent were in the dead heat, and they didn't decide the race for a couple of weeks after all the ballots were counted. So I don't know. We may be in for a November surprise if things continue to trend the way they're trending right now. So we'll talk a little bit about that before we go for final break on the show. So here we go. Coming back from break.
with Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon, on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Rich Thomas, former mayor of Mount Vernon, and you're listening to What Happened Here on 1460 on your AM dial, worldwide, and WVOX.com. Now, this is the final segment. Before we go to break, just want to thank our very special guest for staying overtime with us, Hannah Alivas, sorry. Very grateful for you sharing a little bit more time to discuss your books, your journey. Very powerful, inspirational story. Lots of comments online. People very curious to, just learn where can they find you, where can they get your books. You have any final thoughts before you leave us with all this wisdom and inspiration?
Yes, I want to say something to all the listeners. Even though these books are written for women, for you guys out there who are married or have a sister, mom, grandmother, friend, these books are really truly meant to be gifts to all women. And they each come with their own passion and purpose and guidance. If these books were created truly with love to the world. And I hope that those who are listening will understand who they really are and their value. That no matter what culture, what country, we're all human beings, and we need to stand together and unleash our powers in a positive way. And to those who have experienced the awful side of tragedy in terms of molestation, rape, and those things that we talk about in Me Too, I want you to know that you're not alone, that you have an entire tribe behind you with She Rises Studios, that we're here and we want to hear from you. We want to be a part of your healing journey. And you can find these two books on Amazon, soon to be in Barnes and Noble. Actually, Unleash Her is soon to be in Target. You can go to SheRisesStudios.com. But I am one that interacts with anyone who contacts me. You're talking to me directly. So if you want to share your story, be a part of our podcast, be a part of our magazine, we have an incredible magazine called Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, please reach out to me. But more importantly, forgive yourself, forgive those who have done some things, even if they never apologize, and 99.9% never will. But unleash your forgiveness power and start building within and become that woman warrior that you're meant to be, and then return it and pour into someone else. Do not give up. Do not give up. No matter what it is, if it's a health diagnosis, whatever it is, you are breathing. You're alive right now. You're here. So do something. We don't get a redo in life, and we can't control everything, but the things we can control, it's time to take control.
And that's something that a lot of people they overlook, and this is where the books available on Amazon, or you can visit SheRisesStudios.com, and you can learn more about Hannah and her team and her journey and the different dynamics, or at least the different struggles that she has gone through, and many of us find ourselves in places where they're uncomfortable. But her book, Unleash Her, although written to women, it's also written to men, for them to acknowledge the feelings and acknowledge the situations that their sisters, mothers, or friends have found themselves in, and understand it from their perspective. So this could be a great holiday gift going to Thanksgiving, dropping it off, not just some food, but some wisdom in text, but also for Christmas. So everybody, definitely want you to take a hard look at these books, and consider them as part of your holiday shopping ideas. Now, you said they're on Amazon.com, right?
Yes.
All right, and we need Me Too, but Never Again, and Unleash Her to be on the top of the number one book selling list, because the information there is something that is truly world class and life defining, because many of us, as Hannah described earlier in the show, have gone through things, tremendous, traumatic setbacks. And what do you do when you get set back? You make a choice. And the choice that she made when she was set back was to see it as a set up for future success, and use that information and use the situation to build herself up and to become stronger. So, Hannah, I thank you for staying with us over time. Any final thoughts before you go?
Just thank you for having me on. This was a true gift to me, and I hope everyone has an incredible holiday season and start stepping into your purpose. Unleash those powers. Get out there. Unleash forgiveness. Be an advocate. Just be the woman and man that you are meant to be here. And remember, time is at the essence, and we get no redos. Life, you get one life, so make it count.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. I'm giving that special message to my nephew who just joined from Stony Brook. I need to get him to go to Juilliard like he's supposed to. Even though you're great in technology and engineering, we'll help you with that. But Juilliard offers some access to engineering classes, Tommy. So yeah, he's a musical genius, and we'll talk about that because he needs to unleash his power too. Hannah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. So everybody, that was Hannah Olivas. She's a prolific author of some books, and Unleash Her and Me Too, But Never Again. And really hope you guys check her out on Amazon, but also check out her website, SheRisesStudios.com. Amazing, amazing, amazing inspiration after all she's been through. And in the final moments of the show, I just want to point to next week, and I want to point to everybody turning the corner about the midterm elections, about to make their final decisions of what they're going to do to go and vote. First and foremost, go vote. That must be something you do no matter where you are. But the first and second most, I just want to say, next week, my guest on the show is going to be Mount Vernon PBA president Nicholas Mastrogio. I expect to have him on next week, along with Charlie Knapp, who is the former AUSA from the Eastern District. We're going to have a conversation about crime and safety and what's going on, especially with the Mount Vernon Police Department. So it should be a real action-packed show. Expect to have Mount Vernon Police Union President Nick Mastrogio on the show next week to discuss crime, safety, and the situation in Mount Vernon, but also midterms. The results of midterms are going to be in, so it's going to be a lively discussion. But this upcoming election, this weekend, as everybody goes to make the decisions about what is going to be their vote, my first and foremost position is you just go vote. No matter how you're going to vote, go vote. My hope is that you vote for the candidate that's going to protect you and your family, that's going to make the right choices, especially for your wallet. My hope is that you vote for the candidate that has the best plan for the future that you believe you're entitled to and should have. I'm a registered Democrat, so I will be looking to support our Governor Hochul. I think that she has done as much as she can with the situation at hand, but she's had a tremendous amount of challenges that have come about, but hopefully she can fix some of those challenges with the plans that she put forward. Representative Zeldin has a tremendous promise, and if he is successful next Tuesday, I will definitely do everything to support him if he became our next governor, because our governor is the leader of the state. So I just look forward to supporting my party's candidate and voting to support the platform of the Democrats. But I do want to make sure it's clear that I hear Rep. Zeldin on his positions on safety and the economy, and his recent statement about not touching a woman's right to choose is a big statement. And I think that's a statement that many needed to hear, especially many in Mount Vernon. And it's my understanding that the governor is in Mount Vernon today, and with the lieutenant governor. I hope while they're there, they do ask questions about the $178 million that's missing, and try and get some answers for that, for our taxpayers on that, because it's a tremendous shame that so much tax dollars have been mishandled and there's been no accountability. So that's something that's very important to me and the community of Mount Vernon. So we'll talk next Wednesday after the midterms. Looking forward to having you all back, and thank you to our guests for being with us. See you next week.